Hi, this is a quick presentation about university finance to run in conjunction with our UCAS and Apprenticeship Parents Information Evening in June 2021. Very quick overview of how to finance university education because it can be a real sticking point as students think about applying. So we want to put this out early so that parents can understand how this would work and what the implications would be for students. So the loans that students can get are in two parts. One is a tuition fee loan. A lot of students would have the maximum of £9,250 loan per year. They will never see this money. The university will receive it directly from the student loans company, and there's no reduction. So everybody pays this, but they don't see it. It just gets paid directly when your place is confirmed and is paid each year to that university. The other loan is the maintenance loan, and this is variable depending on circumstances. Now, there's a calculator available on the gov.uk student finance website, which is worth looking at. This is the loan that the students do receive into their own bank account and the loan for their living costs. So, for example, if a student lives away from home with moderate household income, the maximum loan would be around £6,000 per year. But you may receive a bit more if you have a lower household income. So it is very dependent on that income, which is why the calculator would be needed for you to work out how much a student could get. Here's some other figures. These are obviously for this year, so it might change slightly for next year. There is a difference as to whether you're living away from home and how much you can receive each year for that loan, and in London. So the all-important question is, how much will it cost a student after they've left university? What debt will they be left with? So in terms of thresholds for paying back, it's £2,214 a month. That's before tax and other deductions. So there is a threshold below. If you're not earning it that much, then you won't be paying anything back at that point. So here's an example which I think is helpful. Annual income is 28,800, so the monthly income is 2,400. This is over the threshold for paying back the student loan. And they calculate it in the amount above that threshold, in this case £186. So the student, or the graduate in this case, will pay back £16 each month. Now, obviously, that could change. Those are the figures at this stage. There's always a caveat that interest rates could go up, or the way they calculate it, or repayments could change. But that's the situation as we stand today. In terms of where to find this information and get a lot more detail, the website is on the screen. It's fairly easy to find, and you can have a look at all the documentation and what your household income means in terms of that calculator for the maintenance loan. Generally, the maintenance loan will not be enough to pay for all expenses, even if you had the maximum amount. So many students would have a part-time job, for example, at university, or may have family support. So it's worth considering that and thinking about how far that would go, because obviously accommodation can be very costly. That's why some students are inclined to stay at home, but obviously that is a different experience. So it just depends what might be best for that student. And it's worth mentioning the extra support on offer. Increasingly, individual universities are offering bursaries or scholarships, and can then therefore help with some costs at university. Quite a few bursaries are linked to academic performance at A level in particular subjects, and household income. So you can apply directly to the university if you have a lower household income, for example, and they may give you £1,000 or £2,000 per year, which is a grant. It is not a loan. Scholarships, again, could be available in sport or music or in academic areas, and are very different according to university. So they are very different. It's worth Googling that university that the student's really keen on, particularly when you get close to selecting the firm and insurance choice. Just Google it on their website, just put in bursaries, and there should be a page on that website. and you may be surprised at what's on offer. So definitely worth mentioning those. So that's a very basic introduction. As I said, do look at the government website. We'll do more on this with students in year 13, but we thought it was important to explain this now early in terms of actually making a decision as to whether to apply to university. We would hope that finance would not hold someone back. However, we do need to be realistic and say that there is a cost to this, and that students will have to pay back that money if they earn over a set amount. But hopefully it's more like a graduate tax than a debt. As you've seen in the example, it just goes up with that wage. So it's tied to income, and it isn't a huge amount each month. Any questions, please come back to us at school. Thank you.